What's up guys, Dan here. Thanks so much for joining in for today's video. So today I want to make a quick video giving some tips to selling sim racing equipment on the used market. Now sim racing is interesting because it does this right here, and when it gets really high, what we have is an influx of people who kind of think that they would love sim racing only to get in it and realize they don't, which means they're going to dump a lot of their stuff, which means we have the opportunity to buy some pretty nice stuff for a reduced price. But what I'm noticing recently is there is an influx of people who are posting things for sale on the marketplace and in these buy and sell pages, specifically for sim racing. And as soon as I see the ad pop up, I think to myself, there's absolutely no way this person is going to sell this item the way they have it listed. So I thought it would be useful to somebody out there if I made a quick video giving some tips of how I think you'll be successful and actually sell the equipment that you're wanting to sell. Instead of just listing it on Facebook Marketplace and not get any traction and nobody even be interested in buying it, because that's what I'm seeing a lot. Now, why do I think I'm qualified to give you this information? Well, I've been in the sim racing space for a long time. I've gotten in and out of it many times. So I have sold a bunch of stuff myself, and pretty much everything I've ever sold on the marketplace or in these groups, I've sold within the first week that I've put the stuff up. And in some cases, I actually sell it the very first day I put it up. So I'm going to give you these standards that I go by that I think you should go by, and you're going to have a lot more success and a lot more interest in your ads. And at the end of the day, you will end up selling the stuff that you have, which helps the people like us who want to buy your stuff. So without further ado, here are these tips. All right, the first tip that I have is you have to separate the items. I know that a lot of people, and I see this all the time, you want to sell your full sim rig with all the equipment, your pedals, your wheelbase, your seat, your rig, your computer, your monitors. You want to sell all this stuff for one lump sum. But here's the thing, that never works. It is going to be very rare for anybody that is going to be willing or able to pay you that lump sum, typically very high price, that is looking on the used market. The reason why these people are looking on the used market is because they don't have as much money to spend, and they want to spend less than what they would if they just bought it new. If they have the money to buy this lump sum amount that you're listing your items for, and you're not willing to separate them, they're just going to go, if it's that kind of person, they're just going to go and buy it new anyways. So you have to understand that the type of person is going to be looking for used items in the first place are people who are probably on a budget and they're wanting to spend a minimal amount of money on the items they're looking for. So you need to be willing to separate the items, make individual links, individual post for each item. So just the wheelbase, or if it was some kind of bundle, then make a link for just the bundle, make a link for, or make an ad just for your rig, just for the pedals, just for your shifters, just for your computers. Separate that stuff, and you're going to have a much better chance of someone actually being interested and interacting with you, and the possibility of them actually buying it is going to be much greater if you're willing to separate the items. I don't know why so much lately I'm seeing a ton of people that are so adamant about the only way I'm going to sell this is by selling it as a bundle. It's just not going to happen. Stop thinking of it that way. Separate the items. The other thing that does is it lets Facebook do the work, or whatever you're using, but in the sense of marketplace, it lets Facebook do the work of connecting you to the individual person that's looking for that specific thing. A lot of times what I see happening is, even if somebody posts a link of a full bundle of all their stuff, you still get people commenting saying, hey, would you be willing to sell just the pedals? Will you be willing to sell just the shifter? Will you be willing to sell just the wheelbase? And then when you do that all from the same post, if and when you inevitably have to sell it as individual pieces anyways, it puts it on you trying to message and keep up with who reached out to you about what piece of equipment. And that is just a headache you don't want to deal with. So if you just go from the beginning and separate everything into individual ads, then the Facebook will do the work for you, setting you up with the people who are looking for that specific thing, making it a lot easier. So that is the first and the biggest tip I can give you. Be willing to and separate the items. Stop trying to sell them as a bundle. No one's ever going to buy it like that. Second thing up here is read the market before you create your post. You need to know what things are actually going for. Too many times I see people selling things they're listing them for far too expensive than what they should be on the used market. If you're going to sell them close to what they can be purchased for new, the person's just going to buy the new one because they're going to get the warranty and they're going to get the whole box and everything. That is just something that you need to consider. So if you're going to sell it, you need to understand that as the first time buyer, you are going to lose some money on it. And if you want to sell it, and more importantly, sell it quickly, you're going to need to reduce the price and get it closer to what the market says the used item is going to be. That is crucial. If you're willing to price it well, it will sell, I promise you. Third thing here is when you buy the stuff initially, you need to keep the boxes. Things sell much quicker if you still have all the original boxes, all the original pamphlets, the directions, any paperwork that came with it, warranty information. If you have that stuff, you need to keep it with what you're trying to sell because people are going to be much more interested in buying it from you and you're going to have a better chance of selling it if you have that stuff available for the sale. And the last thing here is you need to have current and detailed photos of what you're trying to sell. I see this a lot. Do not show the manufacturer's picture of what you're trying to sell on your ad. They can go on the website and see that picture themselves. Take an actual picture of what you're trying to sell and make sure you just took that picture and that it's in the condition that it currently is, not when you first bought it and when you first unboxed it. Honesty is a big part of whether or not someone's actually going to buy something from you. And when you are putting up manufacturer pictures from the website or pictures that were clearly taken when you first opened the box and they're not current, it's going to give a bad taste in the mouth of the buyer, the potential buyer, and they're probably going to look elsewhere and either buy new or buy someone else. So make sure that you have lots of detailed photos. And in fact, lately, the marketplace allows you to take videos. So take a really detailed video or photo, multiple photos of what you're trying to sell before you even go to make the post, because you need to be honest about this stuff. If there's anything wrong with it, take pictures of what's wrong with it. But at the minimum, take current pictures, take a lot of them, give the most information you can so that the potential buyer will stick to your ad and not go to someone else's. So these are just tips that have helped me in the past, guys. You know, the only reason why I made this video is because I've seen this influx of these crazy ass ads on the marketplace. And I'm like, does this person really think they're going to sell this like this? It's never going to happen. You have to be willing to do some of this stuff to actually get the transaction to take place. So hopefully that was helpful. If it was, please click the like button, guys. Remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed. And this was just a short one here, hopefully, guys. So this is going to be it. And I will talk to you in the next one. We'll see you later.